Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to help you how to get a GF, and I will try to get to the point really fast. So, I have a friend and he's currently just approaching a bunch of girls, and I'm trying to help him to how to be successful at getting a GF, or just be successful with women, because I guess it's a topic which is really related to the young people, and I just want to help the young people to become better at this. And it really depends on the goals what you have, because maybe you don't want relationships, so we have to distinguish two parts: whether you want a relationship or whether you are more focused on just getting girls in general. Your goal is depending on these two elements, but the good thing is that they are really related to each other, so they are really connected. So you almost have to do the same thing what you would do. And I have to think about this because I haven't really prepared. I just know my experience, so I want to share with you my experience on this. And so we talked about these two goals, that it depends on what the person wants. And I believe that there are two perceptions when it comes to dating or initiating a conversation. A man might want two things. First is that they want to build themselves, so building yourself. Then the woman will initiate, or the second, you will approach. These are the actions, because in this one you're developing yourself, so self-development is the action, and in the second part, approaching is the action. And these are not eliminating each other. And I believe that we can come to the conclusion that in terms of the action, what should you do is the combination. So it means that you should simultaneously develop yourself and approach at the same time, and initiate conversations. If you want to talk about how to initiate a conversation, it should be really easy, and you should entertain yourself, so you should feel good when it comes to the approach. It's really important that you feel good and you're basically calm down. Of course confident, but I think confident comes from the self-development and the consistency, so they are really correlated to each other. In the future you might say that this should change, so it means that if you develop yourself as a man, then maybe in your late 20s you will end up in a really good situation that it will happen more, that women will initiate more, so the number will go up. Until then, there are a lot of guys who say that you should go into monk mode, or you should go into a period where you are not really initiating, and so on and so on. But from scientific basis, it's evident that whatever goal you have, so whether you have a goal to just get girls or to just be in a relationship, in both scenarios, if you're contacting with girls but not doing it too much, so your life is balanced basically, and you're not spending more time to these actions than into the self-development. So it should be 70% self-development, 30% social interactions, or something like that. So it shouldn't be 20% or 80% that. So these are not good. The thing is that if you're not doing the approach, then even if you develop yourself, you will become muscular and you will have a lot of good skills. The problem is that if you don't socialize, you will not develop your social skills. So even if you're not doing it directly for getting girls, but you should do it also for being able to talk with people, and not only with girls but with men too. So yeah, I wanted to put an extra attention and extra emphasis on the scientific fact that a lot of people could actually perform a lot better when they are in a good relationship. So when they're in a quality relationship, then they are better than those who are not. If I have to take apart, so what do I prefer? then I have to say relationship rather than getting girls, because for me personally, just getting girls can be like an experience, but for me, if the girl is not, for example, intelligent, that's it simply. If she's not intelligent, then I just don't really want to waste my time, because I want to feel good with her. And if you feel good with just getting girls, then that's okay. And if you want to be able to find a quality partner, then guess what? If you're not approaching, then until you become in your late 20s, you won't really be able to be socially that good. And even though if you achieve great things, then in the social situations you won't have like the charisma and you won't have the social skills. And also you can't really wait for that to happen. But of course you can focus on yourself, and after a while you can achieve a level where you are just socially charismatic and everything comes like naturally, and you just have to put this into the field and just practice it, because I believe that everything should be at least 70% practice and the other percentage like theory. So in this case 30% theory. And the reason why it's important, because if you only look and learn about this, you won't develop these actions and social skills when you are directly speaking to a person, because then you're not activating the improvising, you're not activating what comes naturally. So if you learn about how to ride a bicycle, you will never eventually learn the movements and how to improvise, because you may be learning some theory, and theory can be useful but should not exceed like 30% or somewhat like that, and 70% should come from the real practice. So for example, if you learn about how to communicate, if you learn about how to ride a bicycle, you will eventually learn it, the movements, the improvising, only if you practice it. Okay, so this is about the action, and so I wanted to drive back to the relationship, how to find the quality. So these are related, because if you're not that self-developed, you don't have to be at your maximum level, you just have to have a direction. And if you have a direction and you are having the consistency, then consistency will lead you to the confidence. And if you have direction, consistency, confidence, good habits, healthy habits, then eventually, if you are practicing the socializing, I'm really sure that you will be able to find a relationship. Why approaching is the solution again if you are not in your late 20s or you haven't built an up thing, because you can't really build up, it's really, really rare. It's extreme. And if you want to practice socializing, you have to also naturally initiate interaction with any person. You can practice on anybody, like literally, because like another important thing is that when it comes to socializing, you should not really treat that differently a man and a woman. So you can literally practice this with anyone. But of course, if you're neglecting one part, then it should be also balanced, and you shouldn't really treat that differently people and the way how do you talk, and you should present yourself, and you shouldn't be someone else with another person. Of course you should accommodate to another person, but you should not give up the base identity of yourself. We are going back to the approach that even if you're at a really good level, you won't be building up these skills. And again, what happens if you want to get like someone? Then maybe you would have friends, maybe you would have school or work, school and work. These are like the sources, or maybe like online. But to be honest with you, online is really like a lottery. So you should think about this as no solution, because it's just a waste of time if you think about it. But you might have like a chance to win a lottery or get like a good point in it, but you should never think about it as like the solution. It's like basically lottery, because you can't really know the other person, obviously. So I'm not really recommending any dating apps, but it also depends on what you want. But if you want like a quality relationship, someone who can support you and you can feel good with the person, so you're not just using person as an object or an ego boost for yourself, but you're eventually really want to be with someone who you feel good with, then I think what you should do, but most of the people in these apps are not quality relationship, I can tell you. But you can see that friends, work and school, if you think about you're living in a city and maybe there are, I don't know, 1 million, 1 million women, but you have only access in these both cases to 500 max. And you can see that if we divide 500 by 1 million, 0.12345, they multiply it with 100 and it will be 0.05%. Let's say that you're really, really optimistic, even if you have like access. But I don't really think that you have access. Like, this is the reality, that if you want 99% access to 99.5% of the other woman, then you shouldn't only rely on friends, school and work as a place. You should be able to interact with anyone, anywhere. So if you're in a bar, if you're ordering anything, if you're having a bowling session, ordering a pizza, I don't know. Like if you're at Starbucks, if you are eating out, if you are having a trip, if you're hiking, if you're on a plane, I don't know. Learn how to naturally get in a conversation. This is basically it. Then you will have mathematically, I'm not sure, but I won't count it, but it's obvious that 100,000 times better chances at finding a quality GF. And from now on, consistency is what all matters. I will show you how to make like a routine from it. So if you want to make a routine, anytime you go out public, then you should seek for like at least one opportunity when you can get into a conversation. And then as time goes by, it will be 7 times per week. And you would say, okay, but I'm not sure how to be able to tell that the person is worthy to approach. And then this is again comes with practice. So after a while, when you're getting in a conversation and you get to know two people better, then you will know exactly that there will be people who won't be willing to negotiate or having a conversation with you. Then with these people who are not open, then what should you do? Is basically let them leave. Because you just have to know that you are valuable. Even if you're not as valuable as you want, but there is another reason. What do you want in a relationship? Any kind of relationship, if it's short term or long term. Do you want the other person to value you or respect you, or do you want no respect? If you want respect, then you should again let them leave. So this is what you should do. The other case is when she will talk with you. Then instead of trying to impress her, so there are 2 ways. In one, you are impressing her, and in one other case, you are discovering. This is what you should do. Because, so what happens if you try to impress? Then you will automatically put them on a pedestal. So it will tell them that you think internally, and you're just reflecting this indirectly with your actions, or even directly if she's smart and she's recognizing all this. But it's just really natural. It's like if someone is pushing. So you're telling that she has more value than you, and this is not true, because in a relationship people should be equal, 50 to 50%. So this is what you should avoid, to being needy or anything like it. In a relationship there is like a game in texting, kind of like a game. It's not really that much of a game, because if you're really self-developing yourself and then you have direction, you have goals, then you're not really acting like you're busy. When it comes to texting, it's really important when you're reaching that point, you will be busy automatically because of your goals. You might say that it shows that you are like a serious person and so on and so on, but I think this is BS. I don't wanna say vulgar words, but the reason why I say this is that because it's your own interest to develop yourself and to find what you're passionate about and becoming busy. The evolution made like a really good job. What is the social media and all these electronic stuff, technologies ruining, but if someone really sees it clearly, then evolution made a really good job, because girls are actually the reflection of guys. So girls, if you think really deeply, then if you don't think about girls who want to like use you and all this stuff, but who are just naturally responding from their internal instinct to your actions, are actually a reflection of your benefit. So they are actually serving your benefit by reflecting on you, because what they actually reflect is that whether you found your passion and whether you are passionate about it and whether you are consistent because you are following that direction. We can distinguish two things about passion and direction. So the two thing is like a personal. So personal, it can be like golf, like anything what you love, but and you are passionate about it and has future, and you are really like putting in the effort to become like really good at it. And the other thing is just like survival factors, good habits. Like for example, sleeping on time, not using social media that much, not watching any dirty websites, for example, like anything which benefits you. They are like the circumstances. I can give this name is even better. So there are the personal and there are the circumstances. Circumstances are reliable for putting you in the best version of yourself, and passion and your direction and goals, which can be like multiple ways or even like one direction, one dimensional. So for example, if you're passionate about golf and you're becoming the world champion at it, or if you have several directions, so it can be even like multi-dimensional and one dimensional when you have more, obviously. Yeah, it's becoming more complex, but I think it's really seeable, and I think it's really useful, and I hope you can benefit from all these information. But basically we have to go back to the texting, because now I actually just told you that girls are the reflection of guys, which are your own benefits actually. Actually, if we want to put it in simply, then what you should look for in girls is like a partner. You should do everything for yourself in the meanwhile, but also be really caring and paying attention to your partner. If your partner has their own goals, then supporting the partner about her stuff too. If you're having your life established, then it gives also safety, like evolutionary. If we are thinking the positive way, then I think this is enough for now, and going back to texting. So you should be having your own goals, which are your own benefits and own interest, which is the reflection of actually the girl response. And the other thing about texting is that you should be just chill. So you shouldn't be emotionally too invested, but later in the relationship, when there will be moments when you shouldn't be chill about everything, obviously. So there will be moments when you should talk openly about your feelings. It's really crucial and important that if you want an honest relationship without any games, then you should act like this. If you're not acting like this, then you won't get back what you want, and that's it. Move back to the point when she talks with you. So when you're initiating a conversation with someone, and you shouldn't impress her, but instead you should discover. And here there will be a lot of points. The most important point, of course, do you feel good with the person? This is the most important. And after that you can figure out whether she's in school or does she work, or other thing is, which I really like to know about a person, is whether it doesn't really matter if they are men or GLB. Because guess what? This video could be about selecting a friendship as well. So that is the reason why I talk about that. It's not so different from how you approach men than women. And I'm not talking about whether you want relationship, but about how you want friendship. So this video is really useful even if you want a friendship, because you want a friend who is also like you. Oh my god, the light went off, but I will continue. So, and who also is passionate, has goals, and who is like enthusiastic. Because if you don't want a person who is not enthusiastic, then you shouldn't be with that person. And after your discovery, you can change contact, but if you don't want, you can just share your information, and then later on you will even see, because as a man you are taking like the initiation. So you're taking basically the first steps. You should have your technique, and it's really important. This is basically the ball technique. So this is the ball, and the ball technique is really simple. And the ball technique is perfect not to overwrite anything or not to overdo anything. The ball technique is simply when you're doing an initiation and you feel like that you did already something, and you can expect the other person to also initiate from you, or having effort, because it's basically about also effort, mutual effort in the relationship. And you have to expect your partner if you want a quality relationship, to have mutual effort. So if you took the initiation, you can just go ahead, and if someone doesn't make enough effort to find you on social media and get in contact with you after you just initiated, and you can initiate naturally. If you really feel like that you find her like a good person and you would want to invest maybe time, then you can make the first step. But after a while, if you have, for example, the first date, then you can wait whether she will offer like a second one. You don't have to be the only person who is making steps. In the first steps, what you did naturally were for your own interest, so you can become better at socializing, right? And you can have chance to find a partner who is good and who helps you. If you do anything more, then it will lead again to the inequality of the relationship. Again, you will put her in the pedestal, and that's what you want to avoid. And if you put someone into the pedestal, you're the one who's chasing, then eventually you will end up to the same exact point of zero respect. That's it. So today's video, I just wanted to tell you this, and I know that this structure wasn't like really clear because now I just drew. Sorry for this complexity. You can actually write down in the comments what do you want to hear about, like what kind of topic related to self-development, for example. So I'm curious, and thank you for following this. See you.